Hello everyone, welcome back to a new Crafting with Marc. Today we're going to craft a P90. I do have to say in advance that I've actually worked on it for more than 6 months in total, just because I kept stalling it. And after like 6 months, when I actually started to finish the build, I started noticing that there were actually quite a few problems with the way I intended to build it. For instance, I can't eject the magazine, so I just glued it in, because normally you should like elevate this like this, so you could get it out. So yeah, even with a few problems in the progress, I hope you will still enjoy the making of this P90. So let's start with the build. The first things you will need are, of course, some cardboard. A pencil, a pen, a knife, PVC tube, glue, is a pincher, a cutting board, a scissor, a transparent box, and at last, an example. First we're going to clean the cardboard, cut off the used parts and then cut it in half. And then we are going to draw how the gun is going to look. For this I just used the example and made a rough sketch. Don't forget to put in some details like the hole where the trigger should be. Next up we're going to put some more cardboard on the back of the gun. Draw the back of the gun, be sure to draw everything in line. Once we have drawn the whole gun, it should look something like this. And so we can start with cutting it all out. Once you have done that, you can flip it around and draw around the piece to make the other side of the gun. Next thing we are going to do is make some cardboard strips for the width of the gun. Before we can continue, you must glue the front and the back of the gun together. Once we have done that, we can start out with putting the cardboard strips in place. Be sure to reinforce everything. As you can see, the cardboard should be all around the gun. Now we can start off with making the trigger, which should look something like this. Once we have cut it out, we can make a hole in it. That's for making it move later. Now we got 2 parts and we're going to make some small cardboard strips for the width. Just fold and glue some of these strips. It should look something like this. Reinforce it a little bit so it won't fall apart. And then close it up with the other side. For the round parts of the gun, you must fold a cardboard like this, so it makes it easier to fold it in place and glue it on each other. And then you get something that looks like this. And now for where the trigger should be. Once you have glued it all together, you must have a small stick where it can move on. We're going to make a small plateau, so the trigger will be in the middle of the gun. While that is drying, I'm going to continue with another part of the gun, also with bigger strips. Once you got the plateau, we're going to paste in the stick, and while that's drying, we're going to move on the barrel. We're going to make a hole in a cardboard strip, so the PVC tube will fit in perfectly. So don't forget to reinforce the gun, so it won't fold when it would be done. Be sure to close everything up nicely. We can paste in the PVC tube. And this is where the magazine is going to be. Let's start off with the clear box. We're going to use pen for this. We're going to draw some nice rectangles on the clear box. It's a bit hard to explain how this should look, but once you have cut it, it should look something like this. And we're going to glue it together like this. In order to do that, we're going to get some small cardboard strips and then glue them on the clear paper. And now we're going to finish the magazine. Just paste everything together nicely, which ain't too easy. And you will get something that looks like this. And once it's finished, it should look like this. Then we're going to continue with the trigger. Now the stick should be dry. You can put it on like this. Be sure that it can move like this. Once you know it will fit, we can start with gluing the elastics on. Be sure to have small cardboard strip there, so that the trigger can't move anywhere. And now we're going to paste elastics to the gun. Be sure to have some clippers in hand so it won't go anywhere. After a while, when the elastics are dry, it should look something like this. I've reinforced it a little bit with a cardboard strip there, and of course all around the back of the gun. Now that we are finally done, we can paste the other side of the gun on top of it. Once it's all dried up, it should look something like this. And we can start with making it pretty, with cutting off the pointy parts. Once you have done that, you can start with spray paint. And once you have spray painted black and everything is in place, you will get something that looks like this. So once again, I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you with creating your own P90. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. The next thing I'm going to make either be a shotgun or an AK. So if you want to see me make that, well, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.